All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Randall. This is the McClures. We react, review, look at, make fun of stuff. Today we have, uh, just drew a blank, but we have Jesse Lee Peterson. This is the Fallen State. This is where he does interviews. So this one's with Stevie Knight. He's a reactor on YouTube. And Laura Foss. I'm not sure if that's his old lady or I'm not sure who that is. But I'm interested to see this. I've checked out some Stevie Knight content in the past, and I like his reactions. But let's see what this is about. Now I think he doesn't put all the video on there because you need to subscribe to get all the video, but we will get all the audio, and it's an interview, so that's what we need. But let's take a listen.
Hi, I'm Jesse Lee Peterson, host of The Fallen State, and I have a very important update to share with you guys. Oh, the paywall going up. We've been doing The Fallen State for over 6 years now. And over YouTube.com/The Fallen State. Paywall going up.
Paywall going up.
State on locals.com. So I have with me Stevie Knight and Laura Foss. Stevie is a YouTuber personality and content creator, and Laura works as a realtor here in California. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, Stevie, let me ask, I know you're a YouTuber. What's your purpose for your YouTube?
Bring attention back to reality.
And what is reality?
What's actually going on, and that's a loaded question, but you know, there's there's too many different realities for everybody. Everybody lives in their own perception right now,
right.
And they cast aside what's actually going on. And for those who actually bring attention to reality, you know, they get demonized. And I'm just one of these soldiers out here trying to bring attention back to reality, regardless of what the situation is.
And do people demonize you?
Yes, but there are people speaking on the same stuff I'm speaking on. They get demonized much worse. So like the stuff that I'm going through, I can stand it.
Yeah.
But bringing attention to reality, talking about the truth and getting, you know, criticized for it, demonized for it, attacked for it, you know, that's the biggest problem to me. So I want to give people confidence in talking about realities and not being afraid of the backlash from whoever, cancel culture, society, family, cousins, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really my main focus. And I guess male empowerment is an offset of that I want to bring attention to as well. But the source of it is just reality, like the reality, like the actual facts.
And so you were walking down the road one day and you decide, you know what, let me bring reality to life.
It's all the stuff that's going on.
It's
All the crazy stuff going on. And me voicing my concern or my opinion on it and seeing the backlash for it, it's just, you know, society's in a bad spot right now.
Yeah.
And we need more people to bring attention to reality, and people are scared to do so because of the powers that be. And I'm doing my best to, you know, instill confidence in others to talk about what's actually going on and using my platform to bring attention to reality.
And Laura, what's important to you?
It's important to me to be a good woman to my man, support him in everything that he does. And these are conversations that we were having before he started his second YouTube channel. And we were really passionate about this. We just had our first child. So a lot of these things, the mess touches close with us having a child. So yeah, we just want to bring awareness to it.
And what's a good woman for your man? What is a good woman?
Whatever it is that he needs me to be.
Well, if you're his baby mama, you should be his wife. That would be a good woman.
Be.
Oh, really?
Yep, take care of him every way.
Why don't you
And so,
Knight?
is he the head of you?
He is.
And you obey him?
I do.
You do?
I do.
And how does he deal with you when some morning you wake up just ticked off about nothing?
It don't happen.
Yeah, I guess I'd say I'm an unusual woman, but I take care of myself. I do a lot of self-care, so I'm not negative. I don't bring negativeness to my relationship at all.
Really?
But if I ever do, he just doesn't respond. He doesn't really deal with my emotional swings.
So is Stevie the first man you ever met that knew how to handle you?
He's the first man that I respected enough to become really self-aware and change my ways that weren't working. As a businesswoman, I was extremely masculine. I was extremely dominant, and I like masculine, dominant men. So I would butt heads a lot, and we did when we first got together. Right. We had a lot of issues. So yeah, I had to do a lot of reflection and work on myself, but it took him for me to do that work.
And what do other women think about you coming down from that?
She had to meet a strong man in order to figure out she should act like a woman. What are we teaching women these days?
Ego role of being all masculine and equal to a man. How do your friends deal with that?
They respect it now because, you know, they want what we got. And I'm very direct, and I also speak my mind. So I'm really good about calling my girlfriends out on their
Nice.
stuff.
Do they get angry at you about it? Will you call them out?
They don't get angry at me. They probably don't want to hear it, but I speak the truth anyways.
So, Stevie, what made you decide to stay with Laura of all the women? I don't know how many you've been with, but
A lot.
what made you decide to stay with her and make a baby?
They're not married. They probably didn't decide to make a baby.
Man, because she's a shit, pretty much.
She's a shit?
Yeah, she's a shit. You
What
know
does that
I'm saying? Like, she holds me down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know she's loyal. She got my back regardless. Like, even all this YouTube and, you know, I guess status and all that, none of that shit really matters, man.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
we got a solid foundation, you know what I mean? She puts me first. I put her first. It's just organic, you know what I mean? And it's required a lot of work for us to get to such a good place right now. And nothing's perfect. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. But I'd be willing to bet that, you know, the stuff we got within this is a lot better off than the majority of stuff out there. 'Cause we can communicate. We got to the point where we can talk about whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how uncomfortable it is. You know what I mean? She can tell me whatever. I can tell her whatever.
These shoes are pretty fire.
She just like a ride or die at this point, man. I have no questions about her motives, her agendas, whatever. She puts me first. She puts our family first, and then, you know, I do my side of it too. I try to be the best man I can to be for her. You know what I mean? And she does it as well. So it's like there's nothing out there for me. Like I've been there, done that. It could be the baddest woman ever walking by me. It doesn't matter because
Nice.
like it's not messing with this.
So this is your first child you have?
Yeah.
And what is it like to be a father?
I'm not sure I quite understood.
It's very
that.
different. Changes your perspective because I was very selfish before, as anybody would be without having a child. But once you had a child, like your whole perspective changes. Everything I do now is to set us up for.
That's definitely a true statement. Having kids changes things. But for me, I mean, I had my first kid so young. You know, nothing changed. You know what I mean? I went from being a kid to having kids. So there was no like in between that changed when I had a kid. Does that make sense?
You know, the best possible life we can have. You know what I mean? It makes me work that much harder. I don't really think about myself anymore.
So you made a boy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Real men make boys.
That's what our friends told us. There's no chance you're having a girl.
That's right.
That's probably true though, because my first was a girl, and I was not a real man because I wasn't even a man yet. So that might actually be correct. Can you smoke on YouTube? I don't give a fuck. I need a cigarette.
That's amazing. Are you going to have
It's an hour long.
make a truckload of babies?
Man, nah.
Yeah, I don't know about a truck.
Nah.
Do you plan to get married?
I knew that question was coming, man. I don't like the idea of how marriage is presently constructed. I think marriage today is a flawed system. It sets men up for failure. We've had discussions about this. She wants to get married tomorrow. You know what I mean?
You want to be married, huh?
Yeah. She with the idea of it, but she knows how I
You're
feel
supposed to be
about
married
it.
for God.
I don't like how the state's involved in it. I don't like the histories that have passed where have left men in shambles, just ruin their lives because of just how the system is flawed. You know what I mean? Whenever we do that, it's going to be under our circumstances. It's going to be totally different than the norm. You know what I mean?
I understand what he's saying. You know what I mean? With how marriage is a contract now with the state, and you know, it's been so far removed from, you know, a commitment you're making to one person under God. So I understand that, but you don't have to do it legally through the state. You don't have to get the government involved, bro. But you need to start calling her your wife. So go have a ceremony. put something on it, call her your wife. We didn't ask if you filed paperwork. You know what I mean? But she wants the title, give her the title.
Because she deserves to be a wife. She deserves to feel that. But you know, I don't agree at all with how marriage, the system of marriage, is. And when you say marriage, I'm assuming you're talking about that. And with that, I'm staying away from. But what we do is gonna be what we do. You know what I mean?
Meaning that you're going to make up your own rules and live by that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And would that give you the freedom to walk away if she started to act up or something?
I mean,
You can always walk
I'll have
away.
freedom to walk away regardless of
Most guys
circumstances.
don't, because they end up having to pay child support, house taken away
Yeah,
from them,
yeah.
and all kind of mess. Are you avoiding the way your system that you're working on? Would that avoid all that or something?
It would avoid it, but that's not the true that's not the intention behind it. My intention behind it is that marriage is a flawed system. There's nothing good about how marriage is presently constructed right now. There's nothing good about it. You know what I mean? Mainly for the man, but more specifically the breadwinner. But like paternity court, family court is a business at the end of the day, and all they care about is a dollar. They don't care about circumstances, whatever the hell it is. They just want to get that check from who.
Yeah, but that's going to affect you if you're married or not, bro. You're the guy. So none of that matters about marriage. That just has to do with you being the dude. I get not giving away half your stuff and all that, but I mean, you can get a prenup, dude. That's not hard, bro. You could probably get it on legalzoom.com, dude. Just fill it out and print it out. I don't know. Seems like he's a little scared. A little scared.
Whoever is providing that check.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much like, if you look at the statistics and all that, man, it's like you would never sign a mortgage with those type of rates. You would never buy a car with those type of rates as far as the successes of marriage. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't buy a car that would start 50% of the time. So why would I invest my everything into this just because of some la la land fantasy that they've conditioned society to walk? You know what I mean? Like if this is what I'm going to do, is what we're going to do, this is what I can't talk. This is what we're going to
To be one of the other 50%, bro. Half of marriages fail, not the other half. Be the other half, dude.
do. You know what I mean? I don't care about how people look at me or the societal pressure of what marriage is. I can kiss my ass. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? What we're gonna do is what we're gonna do. You know what I mean?
So you want to be married now?
I have a really great relationship. I think that I have been conditioned to want that. I think, since we're little, that's kind of ingrained in our heads from our families. Coming from a religious background, that's kind of just what you're, what you look forward to, I guess. But I know my relationship is so good, I don't need to sign a piece of paper with the state of California to approve of my relationship. I don't think that signing a piece of paper would change anything. I'm not with Stevie for any type of financial gain.
Now, don't get me wrong. I understand exactly what they're saying. I've been with my wife forever, 23 years, 24 years or something. We didn't get married till our 10-year anniversary, and we already had 2 kids at that point. But that was all prior to me finding or believing in God. And if he believes in God now, that's what I don't understand. Marriage is it's a religious thing. It's not a government thing. Government got involved to encourage it. They should have never got rid of no-fault divorce. That was the issue. Took away the seriousness of it. Because it's serious, bro.
So, we are in the same tax bracket. So the financial side of it doesn't, I think, where it would be an incentive for women, it doesn't matter to me. So however it looks like for us, for him to be comfortable with it, we can do our own thing without getting the state involved. That's not even something I want to do regardless of, whether I want to do it today or ever.
So you're in love with Stevie?
I am.
And what is love? What does that feel like?
Putting someone before yourself.
What does that mean?
I put his needs before mine.
Really? Can you give me an example of that?
Sure. I mean, I just, before I make myself food, before I even think of making myself a plate, something simple, I make his food.
Really?
Yeah, used to hear that.
Crazy, right? I do 90% of cooking, cleaning, and taking care of our son. So we've got a little bit of traditional roles. I'm obviously more modern in the fact that I have a business, I run a business. So, I also make money, but I definitely take on a more traditional mother
And so
housekeeper.
Stevie is going to be real wealthy one day. He's going to have more money than Donald Trump. Are you willing to be a housewife and not work or anything and homeschool the kids and that kind of thing?
Stevie wouldn't want that for me.
He would not?
He loves, because I can do both.
But it's so hard on a mother to watch over the man's children and work and things like that, because women are so emotional. All that stress would freak them out, and they'll kill the children.
Well, I do a lot of yoga. I go to the gym 6 days a week, and
We just watched a video about how you shouldn't be doing yoga. If you're a Christian, at least.
I can take on, I've always had 3 jobs and went to college, and so I'm used to taking on more than most people do.
But are you willing to give all that up? Because he seemed to have a totally different way he wanted this thing to go so that it could work and last forever. Are you willing to give all that up if he should tell you to?
Yeah, for example, we talked about moving out of California, and I don't even question it. Obviously, my business is here. But he said, hey, let's move. I would be down to move, start over, do whatever. And if he did not want me to work, then.
Best part about my day, I just got my delivery.
Shout out to you, Stevie. You do have a real one.
So good. I'm getting.
Then what?
So
Then I would work.
congratulations
You would not
to
work.
you for finding one.
Amazing.
But he wouldn't want that because he loves that I'm ambitious. He loves to see the
She wouldn't
business
be
side of
happy.
me.
She would not be
wouldn't
happy.
be happy.
But what about the kids? Kids will suffer if the mother's not there because now you got to take them to a babysitting
Nah,
service.
she's there enough, and we have a team. Like their grandparents are dope. You know what I mean? Like her job would not come in the way at all as far as.
I work from home a lot.
Yeah.
So when I leave, we've got either my father or his mom that help for maybe 3-4 hours a day. That allows me to go to the gym, go get my work done, and then I take care of the kid, the house, him.
Yeah, but she wouldn't
the
be
whole day.
happy. She wouldn't be happy sitting at home all day just being a homemaker.
With the kids.
Nah, it's not. Nah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What's your impression? So is he the first black guy you've been with?
No.
Are you white?
I was born in Israel. Both my parents are from Ukraine.
Whoa.
Yeah, so immigrated
So
from.
you're Jewish?
Yes, grew up Jewish. I wouldn't consider myself Jewish now. I'm not religious.
You're not. What made you decide not to be Jewish anymore? I thought once you're Jewish, you're always a Jewish.
I don't know. I guess technically if you go by your parents. No, so I grew up in Israel. It's very different than here. I grew up watching people fight a religious war.
Yeah.
Bombs, just very different. And that just made me question religion. There are over 4,300 different religions. And I've seen people killed, people I love killed over religion. So I just started to question it. And then,
They're not being killed over religion. They're being killed over land. The two religions disagree about the land, but it ain't about the religion, I don't think. Maybe it is about the religion because they want to wipe out Israel. Maybe it's an anti-Semitic thing. I don't know. I thought it was just about the land.
moving to America after living in Israel, I would go to church here just because I love the message. I love the community.
You would go to Jewish church or Christian church?
Christian church out here
Oh, I
with
see.
my friends. So I love the message. I love the community. I didn't love how they were just trying to collect money. I was
Yeah.
like, just started questioning
Right.
things like, just didn't make sense for me. And then, yeah, just the older I got, the more I started thinking for myself, the more I've just been turned away from it.
So you are Christian?
I'm not, no.
Oh, you're neither Jew nor Christian?
No,
That's
I'm not
amazing,
religious at
huh?
all.
And what do your parents say when you abandon religion?
Nothing.
Are they're Jewish too, of course, but
Yeah.
they're okay with that?
Yeah.
Really? And are you Christian? Are you Jewish? You atheist? What?
I guess the best label is agnostic.
Agnostic.
So it's like I'm not certain of what there is as far as afterlife is concerned, but I think once the lights is cut off, and it's a wrap. But I'm not 100% certain on that. You know what I
Right.
mean, like because it could be possibly that, but you know, I grew up Christian. I mean, a Christian household.
Right.
Oh, okay. My comments earlier about marriage don't really fit then. I thought Stevie was, believed in God and he was a Christian. But I could have swore I've heard him talk about it on his channel before.
Of course.
Maybe
You
not.
know, my 30-some-odd years walking this earth, I've gotten to this point where, I question everything and pretty much the same thing she says from just from a Christian perspective. I question everything, and a lot of stuff doesn't make any sense. It's a lot of different agendas and, ulterior motives with all this stuff. It's a whole deep-rooted conversation, but at this point in my life, I just, try to be a good person, good morals, good values, you know. And
So you believe that God exists? I mean, he might exist.
He might, yeah.
And you're just not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. And what did your parents say when
we never had the conversation.
You never say, I'm no longer a Christian?
Nah, it'd probably break my mama's heart talking to her about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
but
what I asked.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, black people
She's
love
very
it.
religious.
She's very
Yeah.
religious.
And they're some of the meanest people on earth. All in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, she's not like that though. But you know what comes with that, and if
All
that's a
in the
problem to
name
me
of
too.
Jesus.
If I'm even afraid or apprehensive about having that conversation with somebody, just because of how I see the world or put somebody off. That's a big issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have how many 8 billion people on this earth? Everybody has different ways of looking at life. There's no way everybody's gonna fall around the same way of thinking. So
That's right.
if I get that much animosity or backlash because I see the world different than you, that's a big problem to me. You know what I mean? So,
Your father's a Christian too?
I don't know what my father is.
You don't know?
Nah.
Why don't
He's
you
probably
know?
a Christian. Me and my father have it's kind of weird, you know what I mean? So I don't know what he believes or what he follows. I'd assume he's Christian, but if he's anything like me, he'd probably be agnostic too. Because we think about things the same, but I don't talk to my father often at all. So
Why not?
we just have strained relationships a little bit.
What happened? I mean, why?
So just some things happened back in the day that caused the course of our lives to separate from each other. I mean, I'm not going to go in like a bunch of detail,
Right.
man, but
Yeah, of course.
it's just I don't have any ill will towards. We don't talk often. Our relationship is a bit strained because of things that happened in the past. And
Did he do something to you? That made you angry?
Indirectly, you know what I mean? It's just a family situation. You know what I mean? A family
But
situation.
he didn't do anything to Stevie personally?
Nah.
Like
Well-
made you angry or treated you in the wrong way or anything?
Well, but I'm sure most parents do stuff to kids to piss them off. But I don't want to minimize it. Like, it was something very significant that happened to us. Nothing crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nothing like, nothing
Why not
headlining.
forgive him for whatever it was? Why
I
not
essentially have. Like, it's just what we haven't, since that happened, nothing's been the same. You know what I'm saying? Since we've had a situation happen in the past, nothing has been the same. I don't think it will ever be the same. It's just, we two grown-ass alpha men that
It sounds like your dad cheated on your mom. You can't forgive him for it or understand. I don't know. That's what it sounds like, though. It sounds like your dad cheated on your mom.
I ain't throw that. I hate that damn term. We too, like,
Dominant.
yeah, it was just, we too much alike, and in addition to what happened with the family and things of that nature, like, it's strained. It's severely strained.
Do you want to be close to him?
Not necessarily.
So you don't have I wish my father and I, you don't ever think, wow, I wish my father and I was close, and now I have a family.
I've had those thoughts in the past, and I've attempted to patch things up as far as me, my actions and being proactive. But like, there's only so much you can do. You know what I
Meaning
mean?
that you have apologized to him for being angry at him for whatever happened?
Apology doesn't make sense given the context, but I don't want to disclose what took place back
course,
then.
yeah.
But, it's not something like we've been in each other's company, numerous times, since what took place happened, and it is what it is at this point. Like,
All right,
What
Jesse,
do you think,
move on.
in spite of what happened, do you think
Stevie's
there's
feeling
ever
awkward.
a time to be angry at someone?
I'm not angry.
So why not apologize to him for overreacting to the situation? I'm sorry, I was wrong. It doesn't make it right whatever happened, right? Mm-hmm. But if you were to say, I'm sorry for holding that against you, I realize you couldn't help it, that would bring you guys close together again.
But that doesn't make sense given the context of the situation. Like, since then we've had a couple of opportunities to
Running over my
I
cord.
guess to patch things up or whatever, man. But like I don't have any ill will. It's not any animosity there. It's just that our relationship is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've attempted to, bring some normality to, our relationship or whatever, man. But it is what it is. We're just different people. Like, if it was a friend, you grow apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just me. It's just essentially like that. You know what I'm saying? On top of like what took place, like.
But it's not like that. It's your father. He literally gave you life. You were swimming around in his balls. It's not like a friend growing apart. This is your father.
I don't if something was happening to him tomorrow, I'd be on a plane trying to sort it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, but as far as the father-son thing and us being all kiki with each other, it's just not gonna happen because we're just
You
two
love
people.
him?
Absolutely, I
You love him.
Yeah.
Have you forgiven your mother for the things she did wrong while raising you?
Bro, what? Hey, my mom don't need to be forgiven for anything, but yes,
Okay.
she's I
She's an
forgive.
angel.
Yes.
Oh God.
An angel.
Perfect.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
And so she was perfect in the way she raised you?
I mean, there's no such thing as perfect, but my mom was
Right. So you admitted there's things to forgive her for.
she's a beast. She did a very good job given the circumstances she was given.
And have you forgiven her for the little mistakes she made with you?
Even if
Things
I-
that
even-
you
even
wish
if-
she had not
even-
did or said or tried to control or any little thing, have you forgiven her for those things?
Even if there's something I'm not aware that I haven't forgiven her for, I will forgive her right now because it's like it's just no. My mom is good. She didn't do anything wrong.
And so she made no mistakes with you while raising you. Everything she did was perfect.
She could have. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah,
Have you ever
absolutely she
examined-
has. But nothing. There's nothing that she's done that has impacted me, negatively to this point. Like I came out, I'm good. You know what I mean? So
Why do you think your father has such a hard time dealing with her?
I don't know. I don't.
Have you ever asked him?
I don't.
Well, mothers tend to put on one front with the kids, but she's held to deal with the husband.
But they've been divorced for like damn near 20 years now.
Right.
You know what I mean, they don't.
Have you ever asked him why? What was it about her that made?
I don't. It would be like personal information that took place between those two. That's like it shouldn't be in my business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it hasn't. That conversation would just be weird to take. Like why I'm going to talk to you about the ongoings between you and your woman as a son. Like, no, I would never, overstep. You know what I mean? But
What do you think would happen if you went to your mother? You thought about some stuff she would irritate you with. You know how women like to control and dominate and try to live through you. What would you think would happen if you went to her? I realized that you were a little controlling there. You smother me a little bit. I'm just throwing out examples.
Yeah.
And I realized that made me a little angry at you, and I'm sorry for resenting you for that.
to my mother,
What do you think she would do?
she'd be like, "What the hell are you talking about? Like, does it make any? You bump your head, baby? Like, what you talking about? That would be something like that."
She
Because
wouldn't admit that you were wrong?
nah, because it wouldn't make any sense. Like, and then my mom admits all the faults. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing perfect in relationships, and she's the first to say I'm not perfect. There's stuff I could have done better, but big picture, like she did the best she could given the circumstances, and I can't blame her for anything she may have done incorrectly. You know what I mean? Like, but that conversation of me coming to her like you could have overstepped it. Now, my mom is like the most giving person ever. Like, she will give you her backbone if she could. Like,
What's funny is I've never heard Jesse interview anybody about their mother who hasn't said the exact same thing he did. Oh no, she's perfect. She did great given the circumstances. She did everything she could. Yada yada yada. And it is funny how we all idolize our moms from such a perspective where you can't see fault. You can't. I'm not speaking personally. I don't have that type of situation. I'm a very logical person. I break down everything, including personal relationships, pretty logically. But everybody that Jesse interviews says the same thing about their mom. And then he asks him, well, was she this or this or this? And oh, well, yeah, she did, yeah, and yeah, and yeah. But she doesn't need to be forgiven for any of that because, well, why not? I like whole Jesse's philosophy on forgiveness. It's not for the other person. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people think if they go to somebody and they forgive them for a wrong that they did to them, it's okaying the wrong or giving the person a pass for the wrong. But what it is, it's for you. It's for you to say what you did will no longer affect me going forward. That's what forgiveness is. I'm over it. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's what why people don't want to forgive, because they think it's okaying whatever they're forgiving. And forgiving is not okaying. It's just acknowledging and moving beyond.
Like, that's just how she is. So her overstepping or overpowering me or smothering me, it just doesn't make sense given the dynamic of our relationship. I mean, she's dope.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what would your mother do if you went and forgave her? Because you know how those Jewish mothers are.
My mom passed away, so she's not here anymore.
Well, lucky for you, huh?
No. My mom was very similar to Stevie's mom. She was very loving and caring, and she didn't care about anything other than making her baby, aka me, happy, and my
So
dad.
she made no mistake with you either? There was nothing that you resented about her, while you were growing up?
I was a little bit of a rebel as a teenager, so I was really bad, and no, I don't. She didn't do anything that made me resent her. I've always been really close to my mom and my dad, but I'm an immigrant to this country, so family and just the culture I was brought up is everything. So there's really not a lot of resentment with parents. Like, your family is your everything. My why for working 3 jobs and going to college was to take care of my parents, who sacrificed everything to give me an opportunity to live in America.
Amazing. So this is where your mother aspired, but your father still live in Israel?
No, he's here.
Oh, he's here now?
He's here.
I went to Israel. I love Israel.
It's beautiful.
Have you ever gone there? Oh, my God.
She wants me to go.
I
We'll
know.
go one day.
Yeah.
I think that one of the requirements to go to heaven when you die is you have to have gone to Israel first.
Really?
Yeah.
He's strong.
Yeah.
No,
what?
Israel is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It really is amazing.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we went once and then we sent another busload of people back over there.
Yeah.
Young people and stuff like that to visit. That's how much I love Israel.
Well, I guess I got to go then. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would really. And then you're going to see the Allah Abba people. They'll
I can't keep the stone face, bro.
they remind me of the blacks in America.
Yeah.
There's a city called David, right? And the Jews gave it over to the Allah Abba people. And instead of them making it look good, they turned it into a ghetto. And the Jews got their areas so pretty. You know, white people are, right? It's so nice and clean.
Yeah.
And the city of David could be beautiful. It has all these hills and things. But because they're mad at the Jews about
messed-
nothing,
yeah, they messed it
they
all
won't
up.
even clean up their own place.
Yeah.
Isn't that a mess?
It makes sense. I mean, it makes sense though.
No, it doesn't make sense.
I'm saying, given how you described it and comparing it to how it is here, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
It makes sense?
No, it makes no sense.
What doesn't make sense about that?
Why would you not clean up where you live to get at someone else? That makes
Because they're angry. When you're angry, you're constantly
Can't be
trying to get
rational.
revenge against the people or the person that you get nothing done for yourself.
right. It's terrible.
Isn't that amazing?
Terrible.
It makes sense because people are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the blacks?
So here we go. We have loaded into the battle. We've got our shield maidens with us, but it looks like the enemy siege tower is
You gotta love Jesse. So, moving on, new subject. What's wrong with the blacks? Oh god.
Bruh, you gotta be more specific. What blacks you talking about?
In America.
Generations and generations of like cultural trauma, conditioning, you know what I mean, brainwashing. That's what
By
I think
who?
it is. Family, TV, society, victim mind state, victimhood mentality.
Yeah. You agree with that?
I don't have an opinion on it. I grew up in Israel, so I
How long you
couldn't
been
tell
over here?
I moved here in 2004. So.
And you haven't noticed that most of the blacks are screwed up?
No.
Oh, you don't get out?
Stevie done looked off. What the fuck is this guy talking about? What? I don't know.
No, I mean, the ones
Not
I'm around
not all, but most.
are not. So
And how they're not?
they're good people.
What's good about them?
They have good character, good morals. They're fun to be around.
It is because of the lack of love from the fathers, and the mothers have turned them away from the fathers, because when you're turned away from your earthly father, you're turned away from God. Men represent God on earth, God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. And the worst thing that can happen to a child, any race, is to turn them away from their fathers.
Let's get more specific though. You said what's wrong with black folk. Like, what specifically are you talking about?
The anger, the
As far as
begging,
like crime and
the begging for affirmative action and reparations, and crime, and the way they treat one another and others. It wasn't like that when I was growing up. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
We didn't rely on the government or anything. And
yeah, welfare definitely messed up black folks too.
Yeah.
But that's kind of out their control. If you raised in a welfare condition, you don't know anything outside of that. So
That ain't out of your control. Don't renew your fucking application. Go get a job.
You know, that's just perception.
Now, before I get the bullshit comments, I'm not all some high. I was on food stamps. Like I said, I had a kid when I was 16. We crawled out of the gutter, bro. Anybody can do it.
And as far as crime and stuff is concerned, like, I wouldn't paint all black folks with that crime brush.
Not all, but most.
But those typically take place in like crime-ridden areas. You know what I'm saying?
Like Beverly Hills. Is Beverly Hills a crime-ridden area?
Is it? I don't know.
No, but they all up there committing crime.
Oh. See, I can't paint all black folks with that brush. But
Well, I said not all, but most.
I know what you're talking about because like.
Yeah. And what am I talking about?
If I know it's anecdotal, but like if I pull it back to just my family, you know, tons of black people, you know, they're not all intermixed in crime or whatever, man. Probably know like a handful of people that are, but I know a handful of white folks that are intermixed in crime as well. But I see what you're saying.
What am I saying?
But,
What do you see that I'm
But
saying?
like it's like a stereotype too. It's like black folks get that label. You know what I mean? And then, you know, the act of, you know, one black person or the act of black folks in a certain area doing some crazy shit is gonna cast all black folks as being associated or doing shit or doing the same type of behavior. And, you know, that's not the reality either. I don't think crime is, even though black folks are the most responsible for crime, like violent crimes and things, but those happen in like.
Everybody knows the majority of black folk are just black folk. They're just normal fucking Americans. Everybody knows that, dude. What Jesse's trying to point out to you is that the small, tiny fraction of black people that are committing an extremely large amount of crime.
Like these really fucked up areas though, you know what I'm saying? Like, and there's reasons for that as well. I'm not trying to like, you know, say it's okay because this is why it is, but you know, the murder rate, violence, all that stuff happens in these certain pockets of black population in the hood or whatever, man. But all black folks don't live in the hood, and we need to do stuff to address that. But I think the underlying issue is kind of like, for me, when I made it anecdotal as far as like black folks and what we struggle with, I could not have a conversation about, you know, how we see eye to eye on certain things, more conservative with the black folk. Right. I couldn't have that conversation with the majority of my friends because they're so emotionally tied to how they see the world. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest issue.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're in their way, and as long as they holding on to this, you know, it's a brainwash. You know what I'm saying? They need to lift the veil because they're just doing themselves a disservice. You know what I'm saying? But they can't help it though. I used to be there, bro. I used to be like, you know, black struggle this, you know, fuck the white man, blah 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 blah, fucking blah. I used to be like that, bro. And it took me being on YouTube, having these conversations with people all the time from different backgrounds, actually taking other people's perceptions in. It's like I used to be at a point where I'm black. I see the world this way, and if you ain't black, you can't say anything about what I'm talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I used to be that way, but there's you have to take in consideration everybody else's perspective, and if you really take yourself out of there, take all the bias out of there, which black folks will never do because they play the victim card. It's like, bro, it's right there in front of you. Like it's not as bad as you think it is. Yeah. It's not as bad as you think it is, but you just can't let it go. You will not let it go. Yeah. And then we get cast as Uncle Tom, house nigga this, that, and the third because we do not identify with the black struggle. You know what I'm saying? It's a victimhood, man. It pisses me off because it's like, ain't nothing I can't do. There's nothing you can't do that I can't do because it is.
That's
I
right,
mean, it's because of fucking you being generational like conditioning to think that you're less than because you're.
What I can't do that you can do apparently is lift weights, bro. You see how fucking big this homie's arms are? I got these tiny ass fucking arms here. Look at this tiny ass little shit. This fucker is yoked out, bro. I need to start hitting some weights. Making me look sad, bro.
You're black, which is a bunch of bullshit, and it's comfortable, it's complacent. It requires you don't have to like, as long as I have this victimhood or this complacent mentality, I don't have to put any burden on me to go out there and do anything because as long as there's the black struggle label, he can't help it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it makes him comfortable in his complacency. That's a bunch of bullshit too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And black folks are not lazy. Black folks are, if we got enough like strength and power in us to like take this shit over if we wanted to. But like how far is our dollar stretch buying shit that don't fucking matter? If they put that money into like real estate and companies and LLCs and all this shit, bro, you can change the fucking societal image of like the black struggle type of shit. But as long as society keeps dangling this, hey, you a nigga, you know you can't do right, blah 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 blah, they gonna keep latching onto it all the damn time because it's generational attachment to that shit and it's comfortable. Victimhood is comfortable.
What a mess.
Yeah, bro.
That's a shame. They have good black people in Israel.
See, when I grew up, the only darker skinned people were from Morocco. In Israel.
But they found some real black Jews, right? That were lost in wilderness somewhere. And they
nothing about that.
What were they called, Bill? Ethiopian Jews. What's that?
Ethiopian
Jews?
Africa.
They were like the real Jews. and they brought them over to Israel. What they found, they were still living that life and everything.
That's awesome.
And you don't know about that?
No, I mean, I've been here since '04, so.
2004. Well, this happened before 2004.
But you was a kid too, so you probably.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I left
yeah.
when I was 12.
Oh, okay.
So,
Amazing. Oh, you did?
yeah, I was 12. Came here in the 8th grade.
So, is Stevie the first black guy you dated?
No.
Oh, yeah, because once you go black.
Talk about an adjustment, bro. You came here right before American high school?
You know you can't go back,
Yep.
right?
That's what happened. That's what happened.
Have you ever dated a white guy?
Nope.
A Jewish guy?
Nope.
Really? Wow, she really took it serious. Not going back.
Yep.
And so do the black girls or ladies roll their eyes at you when they see you with Stevie?
We haven't had too many issues. No. Maybe like a troll comment here and there, but we really don't have any issues.
How have they treated you when they see you with Laura?
I mean, we're in San Diego too, man. So like, it's not uncommon to see interracial couples everywhere. Like, I bet
yeah.
you place us somewhere else where it's a bunch of black folks. They probably trip, but I mean.
Have you ever dated a black woman?
Yeah.
And which is easier? You dated a white woman?
Yeah.
You dated a Mexican?
No. No.
And then you dated, is Laura the first Jew?
I don't know, bro, because I don't be having comments. No, I won't date as far as like me actually.
He said, I don't know. I don't have conversations with these women.
Having some type of connection with someone, nah.
So which race of women is easier to deal with?
Bruh, come on, dog. I mean, she not easy.
Yeah, I know you. You gotta tell me.
She not easy, but I can't cast it down to some damn race because everybody damn different. I mean, because she considers herself white for all intents and purposes. If I was going to say, you know, she's easy because somebody, if someone say she's easy because she's white, I'm like, nah, hell no, bro, you bugging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I couldn't confine it to just damn race. Everybody's damn different, man. It's more of a cultural thing. Where you grew up, what you've been through. That's kind of what's going to dictate how this woman is with you, their background, upbringing. You know what I mean? And what she's been through, and she's been through a lot. So like,
Give me an example of Laura not being easy.
The guy in the gray hoodie is robbing the bank.
As long as everybody stays calm, nobody gets hurt. I don't want the bank's money. Get the blinds. Coming down.
Oh, this movie looks pretty
I
good.
need everybody to see what's happening.
At least the preview does.
It's easy.
I mean, she's opinionated though, man. So it's like it ain't like if what I say go. You know what I mean? Like if I say something, she gonna tell me how she feel about it, all right? And there may be like some back and forth for a little bit, but like if it comes down to, and I guess it's more specified to our relationship and shit, like how things are gonna go in our relationship. You know what I mean? And some shit we need to address, and I bring it up. You know what I mean? We'll go back and forth, whatever the fuck. But usually she ends up like, you know, all right, bro, you got it. You know what I mean? But if it was easy, like, you know, babe, I want this. Okay, babe, here you go. It's not like that. It's not like that.
And so of all the races of women, though, which one is, you know,
I can't say that,
the
bro.
loud mouthest?
Nah, she don't pop off at the mouth at me.
Which one did? Which race?
Nobody's ever pop off at the mouth at me.
And
Like
so they're all the same?
nah, but it's about what I'm going to put myself through, too. Like, if I get a little inkling of some popping off at the mouth type of stuff, she's not going to be here long. You know what I mean?
She's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
She'll be long gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. So let me ask, why black guys instead of Jewish guys?
I want black.
Because the Jewish guy got the money, right?
Money doesn't do anything for me. I make my own money.
Whatever. No, okay.
Whatever.
That's a fact.
No, but why black guys rather than Jewish guys? Or
just
white
what I'm-
guys?
Just what I'm attracted to. Haven't been attracted to white guys.
Really? And what's attracted to about black guys that takes away your attention from all other guys?
I mean, it'd have to be person specific, but I mean, I like tall, muscular men. So I like the more masculine traits. I like directiveness, decisiveness, independence. So,
And you couldn't find that in a Jewish guy? Or a white guy?
no.
You love white people?
I love all people.
Do you love white people?
I love all people, yeah. White people.
How about white
included.
people?
Yeah, I love all people.
You love white people?
I love everybody. Well, I don't love everybody, but I don't discriminate.
Yeah.
And you love white people?
Yeah.
Do you believe that white supremacy exists?
No.
In certain areas, and it depends on where you are, but like it doesn't exist enough for it to be an issue for me.
And how would you define
And then
that?
it's more like not supremacy, but like a majority supremacy. You know what I mean? So it's like the majority of people here are white, so you're gonna have to deal with what comes with a certain demographic being the majority. So like you go to certain stores, it's gonna, be accommodated towards more white people. But nah, bro, like
Nice.
nah.
You believe racism exists?
Yeah.
And why do you believe that?
I believe that people can be racist towards a different group.
Before Jesse goes on this tangent, hopefully he explains it to him, but I like his philosophy about how racism doesn't exist. It was literally made up by the left in order to divide people and put them into camps so they could fight against each other. He speaks about how when he was raised in Alabama during the Jim Crow laws on a plantation, he never heard the word racism. Not from his parents, not from anybody. Racism didn't exist. There was bad people and there was good people. There was ignorant as dumb white people that thought black people were less than, and then there was regular white people who could think with their brains. Racism didn't exist until the civil rights movement, so they could make up a word in order to put people on one side or the other of it. So I like his perspective that racism doesn't exist and you're full of shit. I like it.
And how would you define racism?
Hatred or prejudice of a different group that's not your own.
And so why not just call it hatred, because that's what it is, instead of calling it racism?
Call it hatred.
Because if you call it for what it is, you have a better chance of overcoming it. Because if the heart
Absolutely.
changed from
Yeah,
hate to
labels
love,
right.
but if you call it racism, it would seem that's something you cannot overcome, because they're calling it something that is not.
Yeah, placing labels is no good.
Right.
I think you can define things better.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have anger?
We all do.
How about you?
I'm not a very angry person, no.
Do you have anger?
Yeah.
And how did you develop anger? Where did that come from?
I don't know what I developed it from. I think it may be a reaction to situations that don't go my way.
Is this something you want to overcome?
Absolutely, yeah.
And why haven't you overcome already?
I have done a lot, but it's always a work in progress. I think getting 1%
work in
better
progress
every day,
for me,
learning
for
from
sure.
every situation.
Stevie, you have anger?
No, not really.
You have no anger?
I mean, I can get angry if something pisses me off, but that's not something. It doesn't happen often at all.
Do you believe that you can overcome anger, period, and never have to deal with it again? It'll be taken away.
Wouldn't that be nice? Seriously, think about it. Wouldn't it be nice to literally never get angry at anything? I would love that. I would love that. And honestly, I've done that for 95% of my life. Nothing really gets me angry other than my wife. That was horrible to say. But that's true. That's true. That's really the last hurdle I need to overcome as far as anger goes.
Away from you?
Nah.
You
Like
know-
to the point where, like, no matter what I see, I will not get triggered to become angry.
Right.
Do I think that can
Right.
take place? No.
Why not?
Because, I mean, for one, if something's done intentional to me, an expressive anger, expressive dominance. It's like a checking system too. Like I'm not gonna allow something to go down without allowing whomever it is to know how I feel about this. If I just like peel back, like just let it happen, that's not gonna happen. But I guess there's a way to communicate that too, without being angry.
Yes.
But anger is needed in some instances. Like I'm not gonna let anybody disrespect her in front of me. They're gonna get some of my anger. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna let anybody disrespect my mom in front of me. They're gonna get some of my anger.
But
You know what I
could
mean?
you deal with that without being angry?
I could.
Yeah, I was like, you can deal with those situations without being angry. You can be dominant, you can be correct. It doesn't have to be anger.
But I don't want to.
Why not?
Because they need to feel it.
They need to feel it.
Yeah.
And what is it they need to feel?
To know that this whatever is not gonna go down. It's not accepted. It's not acceptable at all. You know what I mean? It's in order to check them.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I want you to know that you can live a life without anger.
I know you can.
Yeah,
I know you can.
Because anger is a spirit that made a home in you, and it's ego life. You're emotional,
Mm-hmm.
you're up and down emotionally, you're concerned about what other people say or think about you. But if you didn't have the anger, you would be free from all that,
Yeah.
and yet you'll be able to deal with things with perfect love, and that's what real strength is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that
I
be
understand. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that.
I wish I could find some real strength I don't have it yet. I'm working on it. We're working on it, people.
Good luck to him.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I mean, that's something I work on, the amount of time that I stay in my emotions or anger or anything. I think you can limit that time to whether it be 10 seconds, like I count to 10, I'm not angry anymore, versus being upset for a couple of days over something.
Do you agree with me or not that men are the most hated species on this side of heaven?
Hey, sweetie.
Go away.
Then take this.
Yeah.
You go to bed.
I think they've got it harder than women.
And why are men so hated?
I don't know. Delusional women.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
That's a
And
good
why
answer.
you do agree? Why are men so hated? And this is all men, not just white men or Jewish men.
I think it's easy to hate men too because there's this whole patriarchy and men have it easy because we're men, but it's not the case. So when you actually hear about what men are going through, it's actually surprising.
Yeah.
It's easy to it, that whole the patriarchy is what confuses people. You know what I mean? Like
Feminist movement.
yeah, it's the matrix again, bro. It's a societal conditioning to believe that men have all the power, we can do what we want. Women are oppressed. It all comes from that. So it's easy to put the target on their backs, but then you dismiss what men are actually going through. You know what I mean? Because especially right now, life for men it's probably never been worse. You know what I mean? We're in the weakest spot of society we've ever been in as far as emotionally. Mental health is probably the biggest issue with men.
Suicide.
Suicide. You know what I'm saying? The dating world, lack of intimacy, connection with a woman. You know what I mean? Testosterone levels for men are dropping. The feminist movement is pussifying men at the same time. They're making the men more soft to be more in touch with their emotions and they're trying to cast masculinity aside. That's why this whole toxic masculinity thing is a thing in the first place. It's really not a thing. Like anything can be toxic if you have too much of it, but anything masculine is considered toxic right now.
Right.
That's a problem. Dominance is looked at as negative. Stoicness, anything manly is looked at as negative right now. So it's easy to put that target on like your typical man.
Well, why are men giving into it? Yeah. Why are men doing it, allowing that? Because women don't have real power at all. It's just that men allow them to do it, so they're getting worse instead of better. Why are men allowing it?
Society is a motherfucker, bro.
Damn good question.
I ask this question to myself too because it's like this only happened in the past 5-10 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? Before
it got worse, and it's been going on for longer than that, but it got worse over the years.
To the point where men are not saying anything about it.
Right.
And the men that do say anything about it, right? Andrew Tate, for example, he is the epitome of the hatred that society has for men. Yeah. He comes out here and says anything, they take him off. Yeah. That's an example of I would assume where a lot of men sit because. I'm sure there's a bunch of men still like you and me walking around here, but if they go out here voicing their opinion on something, they're gonna get demonized. And cancel culture, society, like that social media stuff is real. Like you can lose your job over somebody putting
That is facts right there. That is the truth. There are a lot of men walking around scared to actually be vocal about what they really feel on situations because they don't want to be demonized or put down or hurt their career advancement. And I was guilty of that as well. I was an insurance agent for a very long time, and you're very controlled, even though you're an independent contractor, so to speak. You're very controlled. Like, I haven't been on social media or any of that stuff, just because if you say the wrong thing, they can complain to the corporation, and that causes you problems at work for having an opinion on something. So I understand where he's coming from. And I was also in that mentality where I was scared to speak on things because, my wife is home and I have a responsibility to take care of her and the family and everything else. And my wanting to have my opinion voiced isn't worth potentially hurting the family. So I understand that is, a rationale that we make. But until more of us just say we need to be who we are, then more people can be who we are, and we'll find out that the majority of people agree with us, and it's the small percentage who disagree. They're just the most vocal.
negative review about you, or at work or something gets to a boss that, you know, highlights an employee in an unsavory type of way, they're gonna get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in this soft ass feminist type of society where, you know, masculine men have their hands tied, and you really gonna have to show how masculine you are right now to actually stand up and say something, because if you gonna say this shit, you gonna feel it too. You better be prepared to feel it. So it's like, you know, is it worth it for these men to It is, because we need to fix it, but like on an individual basis, like,
because things are only going to get worse in the country if men get weaker, because it's the men that leads the way, and if they become weaker, it's only going to get worse for the men, I mean for the whole world, really, because the women suffer too, because they need men to be men.
Women, even the most masculine women needs a masculine man, but society's trying to attack the masculine man.
It makes no sense.
It makes it makes sense.
Yeah,
bro.
it makes
sense
sense
at the end of the day, because of the feminist movement's all chasing the almighty dollar. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Women are more empowered, more empowered, more educated. All this, you put money in their pocket. That's why, you know, the feminist movement has as much tension that it has. That's why women.
Yeah, the feminism movement was seriously started by corporations. Seriously, because they were like, why do we have half of society not working and making products and selling stuff for us? Why do we have half of society just making people and raising people to be good people? We don't need people to be good people. We need people to work. Let's put the women to work. Let's put the kids to work. Let's put everybody to work.
Women can be fat and not be held accountable. That's why women can be hoes and not be held accountable, because all that shit puts money in the economy, right? They spend the most money.
They're being used.
They're being used. But if you tell them that, it's a fight. It's a fight. So,
why is it so hard for women to hear the truth?
we talk about this all the time.
You know, I asked the same question. I think just zero accountability, not being able to take a look in the mirror.
Now.
Is it because of their ego?
Ego, and just have been coddled and enabled.
Amazing. And they can remember the truth about everybody else and everything else, but when you ask them about themselves, oh, I'm a nice person.
But I can understand. I'm not going to empathize for it, because all it takes is self-awareness. But, you know, most people are not self-aware. I can understand how, as a woman, you've grown up and you've been molded to see the world this way.
Right.
Like, you've been told you're
your
beautiful.
Mama,
you've been told
in the world.
Accept you the way you are. If anybody, you a queen. If anybody has anything else to say negative about it, then they're the fucking enemy. You've been brainwashed to see the world this way. So you don't know anything outside of that. So you take some self-awareness to really crack through that. But, you know, how many people are going to actually place themselves in a position to, you know, to break through the matrix?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a small percentage. And that was me. I mean, I think that was a lot of our issues. I hated hearing anything about myself. So it really took a lot to break through that.
Right on. I have said that a man should never marry an educated woman that working, because they would never make for a good wife and mother. Am I wrong about that?
You are.
But you had a breakthrough because he broke that ego, it sounds like. But most educated women, they're so high on the horse that they're unwilling to be broken into the right way.
Yeah, I agree that it's a small minority that can become truly self-aware and change and be a...
So if it's a very small minority of women who can work and have a career and still be an actual woman, why are we teaching all women to do that? Does that make sense? Maybe we should teach all women to do what all women can do, which is be a good mother, be a good wife, take care of a family. And then the small percentage who are outside of the box, who can do something else, we can encourage them to do something else if that's what they want to do. But why are we teaching everybody to do what the small percentage of women actually want? Because the bulk of women don't want to be a CEO.
Submissive woman, let your man lead and really flourish in what really biologically feels better. I was probably the most masculine woman, but it feels the absolute best to be feminine. I've achieved so much in my career, and nothing feels better than taking care of the house, cooking a meal for my man, taking care of my baby. No award or amount of money that I've ever made it comes close.
And we ran out of time here, but what was it about Laura in the very beginning that made you want to go through all that, trying to bring her to some kind of common sense?
I mean, that's personal. I mean, it's personal, but like
what made you decide?
No, but like our connection, our chemistry was so damn crazy that I wasn't gonna just risk, letting that go. You know what I mean? For it was worth the effort. Like, the reason why I'm getting pissed and tight about getting you where I need you to where it be is because I care about you and I want this to work. And she told me the same thing. Like, we'd be sitting there arguing, like, you know, I love you, I want this to fucking work, blah, 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 blah. And it was worth it. You know what I mean? But I don't think that can happen. Like, people don't care no more. You know what I mean? Like, that organic, that real shit, like, that shit don't happen no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got too many options. It's too many distractions to actually, like, give your all for somebody when you could potentially have something somewhere else. But we both know where we were, where we've been, what we wanted to do, and it was all worth the effort, and it ended up fucking working. You know what I mean?
Amazing. You mentioned, what's the name of the officer you just mentioned? The conservative? That they'll throw him off the...
Andrew Tate?
Yeah,
Andrew Tate, yeah.
I happen to know him. You know, I had him on my show, and I just saw him a couple weeks ago in Texas for Uncle Tom. Have you seen Uncle Tom 2 yet? Oh, my God.
What is it?
It's a conservative...
I don't think Andrew Tate, they're talking about two different people.
Documentary about what's going on between black conservative and liberal conservative and some of the stuff we've talked about, and he's in there too. But you guys should check it out. There's a 1 and a 2 and 2 just came out, and it's very, very. But you look like him.
Who?
Tatum.
Oh, Officer Tatum? Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about. I was talking about Andrew Tate. You know Andrew Tate, right?
Who is Andrew Tate?
You don't know who Andrew Tate is?
It sounds familiar.
You probably the one more person on the whole globe who don't know who Andrew Tate is.
He got canceled. He talks about...
You know who he is?
Oh, you need to have him on the damn show.
You look like Officer.
I know who Officer Tatum is.
You look.
That would be fantastic on the show. If we could get Andrew Tate on this mug with JLP, that would be crazy.
You sure that's not your brother?
Nah.
You better ask your mama or your dad.
And we watch some of his videos.
You sound like him and you look like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought of him.
No.
Yeah, I thought of him when you walked in.
Yeah.
When I saw you.
I know who that is.
He's another conservative that's hated.
Yeah.
Totally hated.
Yeah, but I see, I don't. It's like I just had this conversation with some other creators like this past weekend, man. It's like clearly you identify as conservative, right? Like I don't like.
Is everyone all right in there? I have a bomb, and I'm gonna kill myself and everybody in here. My demands, and I'm in.
But you get placed in the box when you say things similar to what other people say. So it's like, I focus on reality. You know what I mean? Like I focus on like what looks normal and what looks crazy.
Yeah.
And then if I'm just here talking about like real life shit, they just place you in this little black box. Like I'm in the conservative box. I don't.
Yeah, because logic is conservative. If you make sense, you're conservative.
You're not conservative?
I mean, put me where you want to put me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I just keep it 100. I just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I call out the bullshit and focus on the real shit. And you know, doing that, you get placed in the conservative box.
You love Laura?
My woman? Hell yeah.
What is love?
Putting somebody before me.
And you love. You love.
Can't use my answers.
You love Stevie?
I do.
And what is love?
That was my answer from earlier. Putting him before me.
Oh, okay.
He stole my answer.
I got to put you guys on the hot seat.
All right.
Okay.
And so I need you to answer these questions as quickly as possible.
All right, shit.
Same time?
I'll ask them first. And then, you can go at the same time. It's fun.
The hot seat.
Hot seat.
What is a man?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
What's a man?
Stevie Knight.
Do we need more white
Good
babies?
answer.
We need more babies in general because the population's declining. We get all kinds of babies.
Damn,
Stevie, do we need more white babies?
Yeah, but I mean, what? We need more babies, period.
How about white babies?
Yes. I mean,
And Laura, you say?
Yes.
I started White History Month 5 years ago. July is White History Month. Did y'all know that?
No.
You started it?
I love it.
Amazing.
Amazing. And I started in July because if you notice, July just feels white.
That's funny.
Is it ever okay to tell a woman she's fat?
Yes.
Yes.
Is Joe Biden the worst president you've ever seen?
Yes.
Yes.
How much weight, how much bench weight can you press?
Gosh, 65 pounds?
How about you?
Probably like 380.
Wow. Is abortion worse than slavery?
Is abortion worse than slavery?
Did this motherfucker just say he benches 380? Holy shit.
No.
No.
Do you support abortion?
I'm impartial. Like I don't care enough about it. But my thing is that
I'm still stuck on 380, bro. Like he can bench press Lizzo? Like
The uproar about it, it's like, I don't feel like that's a right. It's a service provided. So why are you getting pissed off that the government just taking something off the table? Like, you can still do something with your body. You can get pregnant. You can figure out how to get rid of the baby, but you can't rely on the government to get ready for it. You got to figure it out.
You support abortion?
I think women should be able to do whatever they want, but again, the uproar about it, that was unnecessary because you have so many ways to prevent getting pregnant.
So do you think women should be allowed to kill the man's baby in the womb?
No, I don't like that the man has no say in any of this.
Did the cow eat the cabbage?
Did the cow eat the cabbage?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Right.
That's the question.
No idea.
No idea.
Sure.
True or false? If they took away our guns, they would take away our freedom.
True.
Yes.
Who would you rather see as president? Oprah Winfrey, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Big Mama Michelle, Kamala Harris, Hunter Biden?
Donald Trump.
Yeah, Trump.
You love the Great White Hope?
I don't love him, but he the best option that you gave me.
You love the Great White Hope?
Yeah, not as a person, but definitely the best option and liked him as a president.
Does a chicken have lips?
No.
No.
Did the bear shit in the woods?
I was thinking about to give us these details.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you write those down?
Did you guys have fun?
Absolutely,
We
bro.
did,
This was
yeah.
cool,
Right,
man.
thank you guys for coming
Thank you
on.
for having
Thanks for
us,
having
man.
us.
This was
I
great.
appreciate
I
it.
know.
Tell the host how to get to you, watch you, whatever you guys want to
Yeah,
do.
I got 2 YouTube channels, man. One, Stevie Night. It's more music incorporated, but this derived from my Night Talk channel. We talk about a bunch of societal issues where I focus on reality, you know what I mean, male empowerment, just the crazy state of society that we're in right now. I talk.
the term male empowerment bothers me. Just the whole phrase. But maybe I should check out his second channel. I'm interested. See what else he has to say. All right, guys. So that's the Fallen State with Jesse Lee Peterson. He was talking to Stevie Knight and his old lady, Laura Foss. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. If you didn't, you're not fucking listening right now. So what am I even talking about? Channel brought to you by McClures.store, MCCLURES.store. You can buy American products made by Americans. Christmas is coming up. Get you a gift for somebody. Help out an American family. Take care, guys. Appreciate it.